Hi guys, my name is Nomonde. I am from Pumalanga. I am currently located in Northbridge. I am here today to share my story with you. I am a rape survivor. Um, yeah, that is what I am going to share with you guys today. Yes. Um, so at home, I am the second born. I have my elder brother and my younger sister, and also my youngest brother. So I have actually three siblings, and I am the second born. So my story is like this. I'm just gonna start like from the beginning, so that you guys can understand what really actually happened. So at the age of 5 years, I got sexually abused by my uncle. My uncle, my mother's younger brother. Yes. So at home back then, it was my elder brother, me, and my younger sister. My youngest brother wasn't born by that time. So we were staying with our mom and my siblings and my uncle, my mom's younger brother. Our dad was working far from home. So usually my dad would come at home on Friday and go back at work on Sunday. Like every week, he was coming at home on Friday and go back at work on Sunday. Yes. So we were staying with our uncle. Yeah, and my mom was selling. Yeah, she was selling corn by then. Yeah, she was selling corn, and I remember the day that my uncle sexually abused me. My mom, in the morning, she went to sell corn, and I remember um, it was actually in the morning, not like exactly. I think around in the noon. I think around yeah in the noon. Yeah, it wasn't actually in the morning. I think it was around 11, 12, somewhere there. So, what happened is my uncle sexually violated me, and yeah, my siblings were outside, like we were playing, we were playing with friends. Um, what happened was we had a lot of friends. We had a lot of friends that were coming in our place to play, So sometimes when our uncle wanted to give us food, and then he would call us one by one, so that our friends wouldn't notice that we are going to eat. So it was like that. So he would call my brother, and my brother would go in and eat, and then after that he would call me and eat. So while my brother is eating, so I will be playing with our friends, and then my brother will come back, and then I will go and eat, So yeah, it was happening like that. So it happened that that day, my uncle had had this in his mind that he actually wanna violate me sexually. So he did it, and my mom actually came a bit later that day. Yeah, she came a bit later, and immediately when I saw her like opening the gate, I immediately ran to her, and I said to my mom, "My uncle has put his private part on my private part." Like I showed her, like he put his private part here, and it's very painful. So we went inside, and my mom checked me. So after checking me, she actually went outside, like to our neighbor. She called our neighbor, which was kind of like her friend. So she called her, and then she came. They both checked me, and then they actually found out that yes, I was actually sexually abused. because I was very young. Like I was at 5 years, like 5 years old. So they could see that I was sexually violated. Um, there was this uncle. Like not we would call him like uncle. He was not a relative. We were just calling him like uncle. So I remember that he came. I don't know if my mom called him or what, but he came and then he started beating my uncle, the one who sexually violated me. He started beating him, and then after beating him, I remember my mom like pegged like his all of his stuff, and that's whereby he was sent to stay at our granny's place that day. Like he was sent that day to stay with our granny. Yeah, so that was it, so I was never taken to the hospital. Like, yeah, nothing happened. Nothing really happened. I didn't get the help. I wasn't checked like proper by the doctors. So I never went to the clinic. Never went to the doctors. Like my mom did not take me like, for a proper check because I was very young, and my uncle was actually in his early 20s. I think he was 22, 21, 23, somewhere there, and I was 5 years old. Um, so we continued with life. We continued with life, and everything continued. And then I started going to school, and yeah, I started going to school, and yeah, I think everything was okay. Everything was fine by then. So I started to have nightmares, about that day. I started to have nightmares. I wasn't really doing okay. I was not doing okay at all. So at the age of 13 years, I decided to ask my mom. I actually decided to tell her, not to ask her, but I decided to tell her that I actually remember what has happened that day. You know. So I remember we were having a conversation with my mom. So I just like told her, you know what, I actually do remember what happened that day. And she was like, which day? I said, the day when my uncle raped me. And she was like, oh, you do remember? And I said, yeah, I do remember. And my mom said, no, he did not actually put his um, penis inside of you. He wanted to, but he did not. So I said to my mom, no, he did put his like penis inside of me. I can remember, like I still do remember everything that has happened that day. And my mom was like, no, maybe you're just exaggerating. Like nothing like that has ever happened. And I think that it really broke me. Like it really hurt me. It really hurt me a lot. Because I wasn't really like doing well mentally. Like mentally, I wasn't doing very well because I would like it was still like it would be like it has happened yesterday or it's happening right now because I could still do remember like everything. I could even like the smell, the sweats, and I could like even remember even the blanket that he laid me on. So I could remember everything. So for my mom to say that it did not happen, it really hurt me because by that time at the age of 13, I was still very young, and I was actually crying for help. I was crying for help that can my mom help me? Maybe can like she take me maybe to see someone to talk about this, because I remember and no one can ever convince me because I remember exactly what has happened. So by that time, I think that my mom was like, maybe I would just let it go because I would think maybe it happened, but it did not. But I know it had happened. I know I could like still feel the pain. Like I don't even know how to explain it, but I could still like I could see everything. It's like a movie. Like it's like a movie that is in my mind. It's still like playing, especially at night when I'm going to bed. I would think about it. Like it would just cross my mind, and I wasn't really like I wasn't coping at all. I wasn't coping. Like I was trying, but I wasn't coping. It was just like it was very disturbing, and I couldn't sleep very well. Like I couldn't sleep. So the first thing that came into my mind, it was like my mom is like taking sides. My mom is taking the side of his brother and trying to make me look like a liar. I cannot lie about this. I know it happened. I remember everything. So it made me feel like that my mom doesn't really care about me. It really made me feel like that. So the next thing, I started to have suicidal thoughts. I really couldn't see the need for me to carry on with life. So I really needed support. Like by then, I really needed support because I couldn't really understand what was happening because I couldn't sleep. Like sometimes I couldn't even sleep. Like I couldn't even eat. So it was very disturbing, and I didn't know what to do, and I didn't know where to go and look for help because I was young by then. It continued, and my dad was still working far from home, and he could come back on Friday and go back on Sunday, just like that. So I had no one to talk to. I really had no one to talk to. Remember my brother, my older brother, and it's me, my younger sister. So I couldn't, at least if I had an elder sister, maybe I would run to her, but I didn't have an elder sister. So it wasn't it wasn't really easy for me like to talk to my brother about this. So yeah, it was very difficult. It's very difficult when you have no one to talk to. Yes, it is very difficult. But uh, I thank God. Like I thank God, So I thank God for everything because that's whereby I've learned to pray. I've learned to talk to God. Yeah, I've learned that because there was this time I went to church, and going to church, the pastor was preaching, and then he was like saying, every problem that you have, tell God. Whatever that you're going through, like let God know about it. God is the healer. God is everything. Whatever situation that you are going through, like put it before God. So I think I took that ceremony, and every time when I was feeling like this thing it's really like weighing on me, so I would just talk to God. I don't know if I was praying, but I would talk to God, and I would tell God, God, this is what I'm going through, and I don't know who to talk to. I don't know where to go to. I don't know who to tell because I feel like every time when I am trying to tell my mom about it, like she gets frustrated, and in some other way, she just want me to let it go. Like she doesn't want me to talk about it every time. Like no, it did not happen. No, it did not happen. So she actually wanted me to just like drop it and never to even mention it, never to even talk about it, not knowing exactly what this thing is doing like inside of me. Because for me, I felt like I need to talk about it. I felt like that because when I was talking about it to God, I'll be alone and I would cry and I would talk to God, God, please heal me. God, please, 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 like take this thing out of my mind. I don't ever wanna think about it. I don't ever wanna remember what had happened that day. God, please help me take it away. After that, I would feel so much better. I would feel so much better. Like I would feel better, and I would wish that I had someone to talk to. I had someone to listen to me, because talking to God, God cannot like you cannot see God like physically, but I would feel better I would feel really better. So I really wanted to talk to I really wanted someone whom I would talk to like physically, I would explain to her like this is what is happening in my life and this is what I am struggling with. And I really wanted that, but I never got that. As young as I was at 13 years old. And then yeah, life continued, as life continued. And our uncle, since the incident had happened when I was 5 years old, he was not visiting at home, like he was not coming at home. I really don't know what has really happened the time he was sent to stay with our granny. I don't know if my mom told my granny what had happened. I really don't know because like he was sent to stay with my granny. So I don't know what the reason was or what my mom has actually told my granny the reason why he's actually coming back to stay with my granny. Because even before he was staying with my granny, my uncle, before because my mom was staying with my dad at my granny's place. So uh, his younger brother was staying with my grandmother. So by the time when they had their own place, my mom and dad, when they had their own place, that's whereby my uncle came to stay with us. So I really don't know what my mom has told my grandmother why was the reason my uncle was coming back to stay with her. I don't know that. I don't know if like she told my grandmother the truth or not. So yeah, it was like that. And my uncle, he started visiting at home again. Like he started visiting, but he wouldn't visit for maybe for days. He would visit maybe for a day and then maybe yeah, and then he would go back. Yeah, he started visiting, like more often. He started visiting any day, like he could just come at home and yeah. So he would visit and yeah, it was like that. And my mom would actually let us visit our granny's place where my uncle was staying. He would just let us visit, and then we were visiting. We were visiting. It was me, my younger sister, and my younger brother. We were visiting. Mostly the three of us. My elder brother wouldn't visit, so we would go and visit. Um, at the age of 17, yeah, at the age of 17, we would go and visit. It was me, yeah, and my younger siblings. So we would visit. By then, my uncle, he had a girlfriend and a child. So he had a girlfriend, and we would visit. Most of the time, we would spend time with his girlfriend because his girlfriend was staying like full time with him. So he was working as a security. He was working and then he would like go to work at night and go to work at like a day shift. So like he would change and change and change and change, and it would just like it was okay. Everything was okay. And until this certain day, so I had a friend. The friend would come at my granny's place and we would just like play together. And we were 17. We were all like we were old enough. We would play together. And then after that, I would just take her halfway when she's returning back home. We'll take her halfway. We'll just do like that. And then I remember this day, my uncle was at work for a day shift, and my friend came, and then we just spent some time together with my friend at my granny's place. So sometimes I would visit my friends, but most of the time she would visit me because remember I had my younger siblings with me. So I didn't like to go with them and maybe to leave them. So my friend most of the time she would come to me. So this day, okay, she came and then we play and then we play. So the time when I was taking her halfway from where she is staying. So we just came across my uncle. My uncle was coming from work. That day he was working a day shift. So we came across him, and my uncle was like, "Oh, let's just take your friend halfway, and we will just go back at home like together." And I was like, "Okay." So we did take my friend to where she was staying, and then on our way back at my granny's place, so my uncle like suddenly say, "No, let's just go with this way, like changing direction. Let's just go with this way." And it was starting to be late. It was starting to be dark. So he was saying, "Okay, let's just go this way." And I was like, "Okay." We went into that other direction, but it's a bit far. It's a bit far than the one that we came with. And it's a place whereby there's it's like a bushes. So we went into that direction, and in the middle of that bushes, he started like because I was walking in front of him, and then like he was walking at the back. So he grabbed me. I don't know how to explain. Like he grabbed me, and he just like grabbed my face, like grabbing my face like that, like my face. And then so he immediately put his tongue in my mouth, put like his tongue in my mouth, like trying to kiss me. Yeah, in a way, he tried to put his tongue. I remember there was a big rock in the side, like there was a big rock, and then he pushed me into that big rock. So he started like touchy, 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 and then I remember he actually like put like his finger on my private part. He put his finger on my private part like while. So that is what he actually did, and I had to push him because by then I could understand what was about to happen. So I could understand that no, this person is about to violate me again, like sexually. So thank God I was old enough. I could understand what he was about to do. So I've managed to push him away, like I've managed like to try and fight for my life. So I pushed him away, and I managed to run, and then I ran back to my granny's place. And then when I arrived at my granny's place, I just went straight to bed. I went straight to bed, and I wasn't able to tell my granny, or I was kind of like in shock. So yeah, I slept, and then the following day he was also waking a day shift. Yeah, he was also waking a day shift because when we wake up, he was not there. He was at work already. Okay, it was fine, and then it was okay. The following day, he was working a night shift, so he was at home like the whole day because when he was working a night shift, he would like go to work like in the afternoon, maybe for 3, 4, something like that. He would just like go to work. So there was a computer in his room. Yeah, there was a computer in his room. So we would actually like we liked playing games with the computer. We play games, and yeah, I would play games and stuff. So and watch other movies, with his girlfriend. So I remember it was my sister and me and his girlfriend. He was outside. Yeah, he was outside, and we were playing games, those card games. Yeah, I don't know if it's called solitaire, something like that. We just like to play those games. And then we were playing those games, but his girlfriend was actually cooking. Like she was cooking, and then we were playing games, and he was outside. I was actually the one that was playing, and then like his girlfriend, she went to the kitchen to dish the food, and I think my sister followed her to dish the food because the food was ready. So I was left like in the room. But mind you, the kitchen is just it's not far from his room. It's just a passage, a small passage, and then there's a kitchen, and then there's a room. So I don't know if he saw that they actually went to the kitchen, and then he just came to the room. He immediately came to the room, and then he just grabbed me again. He just like grabbed my face and then put his tongue on my mouth. again. This guy was really delusional. I'm telling you. He did that again, and his girlfriend was just there in the kitchen, and yeah, it's crazy. And then he did that, so I just like pushed him again. I pushed him, and I just managed to open the door and just go to the kitchen. It was very awkward. It was a situation whereby I was really uncomfortable, but there was really nothing I could do. There was nothing I can do, but I just went straight to my granny and be like, Granny, we need to go home. Like, I just miss my mom. I need to go home. Like, we need to go home. And my grandma said, like, no, it's fine. It's okay. You will go back tomorrow. Yeah, because now it's late. Early in the morning tomorrow, you guys will go back to your mom. And I was like, no, it's okay. And then tomorrow we back home. Went back home to our mom. So when we get home, I just sat down with my mom and I told my mom what has really happened, everything, everything. I told her everything what has happened. And my mom, I don't know if she acted or she was really in shock. I don't know. And my mom was like, no, this has actually happened before. So I don't know why that person is trying to repeat the very same thing that he has done before. And I said to her what was really happened because I remember telling you what this person has done to me before. And you said to me nothing has happened. What really happened? Because now I'm surprised. You made me look like a bad person. You made me look like I was lying. So what really had happened if you are saying that he has done this before? But last time when I was trying to have this conversation with you, that this person I remember doing this to me. You said that wasn't true, meaning I was lying. So my mom was like, no, it did happen, but back then I was really afraid. I just wanted you to forget about it. I thought maybe it happened, maybe you were too young and you would forget about it. And I said like, no, I won't forget about it. Like I still do remember what had happened. So my mom was like, "No, I am just gonna call a meeting. I will talk to my brothers, and there'll be a meeting, and then they will just reprimand him because my mom is the only girl. Like all of her siblings are boys. All of them they are boys. You know what I mean? Yeah, because like she has five brothers. Yeah, the four of them they are older than her, and then the younger one, yeah. So what my mom did was because my mom had really not told, she hasn't told anyone about the incident that had happened. He had really told no one. He had not told. She had not told anyone. So that is whereby she started with her older brother, the first one. She called the first one. The first one knew nothing about it. He really knew nothing about it. That's why by my uncle, he broke down, he broke down, he cried. And then he was like, at least you should have told us about this. And my mom was like, no, I didn't know how to tell you guys about this. So my uncle agreed that he was like, no, if it's gonna be a meeting, it's fine. We'll come and then we'll talk about this. We will see how we are solving this as a family. So she called the second brother. The second brother, he was like, no, that cannot be true. Your daughter is lying. That cannot happen. Our younger brother would never do that. If he had done that to her, why was she quiet all this time? You know? Yeah, so he said, no, that is not true. And then my mom called the dead brother, and then the dead brother, he said, nah, no, they were actually playing. They were young by then, and they were playing. It did not really happen. So they were just playing as kids. Remember, I was 5 years old, and the person who sexually violated me was in his earliest 20s, 21, 22, 23, somewhere there. So I couldn't understand how we were playing. And um, the fourth one, my mom's brother, the fourth one, he was staying in Johannesburg from a very young age. Like he just went to stay in Johannesburg. So he knew nothing. Like he knew nothing at all. So that one, my mom did not call. My mom did not tell him. He did not call him for the meeting because he was residing in Johannesburg. So they set a date for that meeting, and my mom, I was like, and then I had to think about it. I had to think about it, and then that's where I told my mom, for me, to be at that meeting, I don't think I don't think it's actually something that I want to do. I don't think I want to be there. My mom was like, why? And then I told her straight, this has happened to me, and in that room, it was me and your brother. All of those people who are saying that I'm lying, those people who are saying we're playing, they were not there. So I really don't see the need for me to sit down and try to explain myself to people who doesn't even care about me. So I hate the fact that I will be questioned. I hate the fact that I would be called a liar. No, I would be called a liar. So for me, I really did not see the need to go to that meeting after they said what they have said. So because like what's the need? Because it happened. Having that meeting won't change the fact that I have been sexually violated. And even the uncle might even say, I don't remember, I did not sexually abused her. Like he could deny everything, and I could feel that it will actually destroy me. So I don't want to be there. Like I don't see the need for that. And then the meeting was cancelled because I made it clear to my mom that no, I am not going there. I made it clear to my mom about that. Yeah, and then yeah, that was it. So when time goes by, my dad actually started working at home. Yeah, he started working at home. I remember. Excuse me. He started working at home. Yeah, when I was 18. Yeah, I was 18 by then when he started working at home. I remember he came back in 2011, and then yeah, 2012 he started working at home. I was 18 years by then, and then I told my dad what had happened. I told my dad, and my dad was really shocked. He didn't know what to do. He didn't know what to say. Like he did not. He was like, "Are you sure?" And then I told him that yes, I am sure. And then he was like, "How come mom had never ever mentioned this to me?" And I said like, "No, I don't know. I don't know, but this is what had happened." Mind you, the uncle was still coming at home, was still coming where we were staying. And looking back from now, I don't know why my mom would allow us to visit it at my granny's place, especially knowing that my uncle is there. And I don't know why she would let us visit. But I think it's maybe because she thought her brother has a wife now. But still for me, for my child, I wouldn't want that. I wouldn't want that. So after telling my dad what had really happened, I honestly thought I was gonna get help. 18. and still I was struggling with suicidal thoughts. Actually, I did like try to kill myself at the age of 15, 14. Yeah, I would like really try to kill myself, but nothing would really happen. I would just drink pills like before going to bed, and then thinking that I would wake up in the morning normal, but I would wake up in the morning very fresh. So I did try to kill myself. So I was really struggling, like I was not doing well at all. I was not doing well, and yeah, me telling my dad, I was hoping that I could get help. I was hoping that I would get the help that I always needed or that I always wanted, you know. Because with my mom, she always told me that I shouldn't mention it to anyone. I shouldn't tell anyone that I was sexually violated. Like, there's no need for me to mention it because it has happened. So me telling people about it or me talking about it, it won't change anything. So it was sort of like she made me feel like it's a disgrace, like to talk about it, like to say, you know what, like I I was once sexually violated. No, we don't say that. Well, what are people going to say? So it was like that we don't talk about it. It happened and it's over. So we don't talk about it. It's okay, you know. So after telling my dad really did nothing about it. Did nothing about it. The very same uncle who sexually violated me, he was still coming at home. My own dad, like my biological dad, knowing exactly what had happened. But that person, that rapist, he was still coming at home where we were staying with my siblings, with my parents. Like it was a happy family, if you know what I mean. There were family gatherings and then everyone would go. So I started not to go to a family gathering, whether it's Christmas, whether it's Easter, whether there's a funeral, whether there's whatever, whether there's party, whether there's wedding. So I wouldn't go like at all. I wouldn't go, I wouldn't attend. And some of my cousins would ask me, why are you not coming? Why are we not seeing you? I'd be like, no, I was busy, I would say that I was busy. But I wasn't attending any, in Christmas they would be together. And what really had helped, what was really hurting me is that no one has ever asked me how I feel, like including both my parents, including both of them. They've never sat down with me and asked me, how do you feel about seeing this person coming here? Guys, you have to remember that at home, like at home is where I have to feel safe. Like at home is where I have to be myself because it's home. It's home. I have to feel protected. I have to feel safe at home. But the very same person who sexually violated me was actually like invading that space. So where was I supposed to run and go to? And for both of my parents not to even care how I feel when I see this person, it really hurt me a lot. It really hurt me to the core because he would come and remember I couldn't um I couldn't go and celebrate family gatherings because I know that person will be there. So that very present person is coming where I am, you know. So I had nowhere to go or I had nowhere to run to because my parents were allowing that person to come at our home. So that really helped. It hurts me a lot. So I remember when we had it was sort of like a meeting um involving my elder sister from my elder sister, that is my dad's child. Yeah, that is my dad's child. My dad had her before marrying my mom. So we had a meeting. It was a meeting, and then I think because my elder sister from my dad, she was not getting along with my mom. So, and me and I were just getting along. And I remember they were saying that something has been said that, it was just a lot. And then they called a meeting. And then they called a meeting, in the meeting, and then my mom was like, okay, I don't know how we got there, and I don't know how we got there, and my mom was like, and then we got to the part that his brother sexually abused me. I don't know how we got there. And then my mom was like, okay, what do you wanna what what is it that you see happening with my brother? I'm like, no, nothing. I don't wanna see anything happening with your brother. And my mom was like, no, it's like you wanna see my brother dead. It's like maybe him dying will give you justice. And I was like, look, which justice are you talking about? Like, which justice are you talking about? Because even if your brother can die, it would never ever erase the fact that he abused me. Even if he can die, even if he can go to prison, it would never ever change the fact that he emotionally damaged me. It won't change that. So for me, I had to accept that my own mother would never ever understand what I went through. So I could understand that when it comes to sexual violence, not everyone would ever understand that pain, or would never understand what you are going through until it happens to them. So for me, I think I've learned to live with this pain alone, and I just accepted the fact that my mom would never understand. Like, she just want me to just let it go. Like, she doesn't understand how much I am hurting inside. Like, she doesn't understand at all. So I had to understand that it's not easy for a person who has never been sexually violated to understand what we are going through as rape survivors, because we have survived rape. So I'm not a victim, I am a survivor. I've survived rape, and it was very hard for me. It was very hard because I had no one to support me, remember? I really had no one to support me. And with this, the first person that you run to is your mom. It's your mom. But my mom, yeah, it was something else. But I had to learn to forgive, um, without her asking for forgiveness from me. Because remember, I got sexually violated by his brother, and she never took me to the doctor. She never took me to the doctor. Why? Because she was afraid that his brother was going to be arrested. That is the reason why she never took me to the doctor. That is the only reason why she never took me to the doctor. And I think that it really affected me a lot because, remember, the uncle, he tried to rape me again. Do you know why the reason he tried to rape me again? He tried to rape me again because he did it first, and it was never talked about. He was never punished for that. Like, he was never punished. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. Like, no one has ever stand up for me. Like, no one has ever fight for me. No one has ever protected me. So, like, this person, I think even in his mind, like, he was like, no, I own this. Like, she's mine. I own her. Because no one could fight. Remember, like, even my elder brother is it's younger. It's more younger than him. So no one no one was there to protect me. Like, so he could see that even if I would rape her now, no one, I would just walk free. Like, I would just walk free because I once raped her when she was young, and nothing happened. Nothing really happened. I wasn't punished. So it was like that with him. It was like that. So yeah, and Um, my childhood. Hmm, how was my childhood? Like my childhood was very rough. It was very rough. I don't wanna lie. My childhood was very rough. I never felt. I've never in my whole life. I've never felt like a child. Like I've never felt like a kid. You know, when other kids were running around, like playing around, I could like look at them like this, and like because I couldn't understand like how are they playing. I couldn't understand anything. So my childhood was taken away. It was taken away. I've never been a child. I've never played like other kids. I've never run around like other kids. I remember there was this day whereby I was watching a movie and there were kids like playing around. No, like kids running around, like being kids, like so I just broke down. I just cried. Like I cried. And I said like to myself, I've never experienced this. Like I've never in my whole life played like kids. Like I've never I was very isolated. Very, very isolated. I remember there was this day, I talked to okay, after um I went somewhere to share my story, and there was this girl that we grew up together. Yeah, I think we grew up together. I can't mention her name. And after watching my story, and then she was like, "No wonder you were never a happy child." I was like, "Wow." So she could notice, that really hurt me, like she could notice like I was never really a happy child, and that really hurt me a lot. I was never really a happy child. So I've never like played like other kids. I've never enjoyed my childhood. Not at all, not at all. Remember, at night before bed you have to cry, and then you have to ask yourself all this question like, why did this happen to me? Like, who am I gonna talk to? All of this, it was weighing too much on me, and I really had no one to talk to, and that was worse. So my childhood was very rough. It was very rough. Yeah, my childhood was very rough. That's all that I could say about my childhood. And yeah, it was like that. What was my struggles and also my struggles and challenges that I faced as a child who went through sexual abuse. Um, it's isolation. Like I would isolate myself from other kids, even at school. I was really struggling to fit in. Like I was really struggling, because I saw myself different from other people. Every time I felt like something was forcefully taken away from me, like it was forcefully taken away. So that was the most struggle that I had. You know, that was the most struggle and challenges. I was always alone. I was always alone. So I never had friends. I never had friends. I didn't even know how to keep friends. I never had friends. So I was say like, this is my friend. I was always alone, and I wasn't active. I wasn't active even at school. Even at school, I wouldn't. Excuse me. I wouldn't do any sports. Because there were sports like you were playing like netball and all those kinds of sports. I wouldn't play. I wouldn't want to participate. I wouldn't want to like. I felt like I would study alone. Like no one in class. I would just like study alone. I wasn't comfortable with interacting with other people like in my class. I wasn't comfortable at all. I wasn't comfortable at all. So those were my struggle. Those were my struggles. Like back then, even now. Now I don't have friends. Even till this day, I do not have friends. I don't have friends. I don't know. I just don't have friends. I don't feel like having friends. I don't like friends. Like I don't even like discussing the way that I feel. You know. I don't know if it's because I've never had the chance to talk. I don't know, but I am still struggling with that. I am still struggling to be myself, especially in a crowd. In a crowd where there's a lot of people, you'll never find me. I'm still struggling with that. I am struggling with that a lot even now. Challenges that I had when it comes to dating, I have never had any challenges regarding the fact that I was once sexually abused. I have never had any challenges based on that. Yeah, I've never had that. So with my dating, yeah, everything is fine. Like everything is okay. I've never struggled, especially when it comes to dating. I've never struggled. I've never. I think it's because I have learned to talk about it. I've learned to talk about it, especially when I get into a relationship. It's not like I get into a relationship and then I talk about it like immediately. No, I take my time, and yeah, I just take my time to talk about it. I take my time, and yeah, I am very open about it. I am very open of what I went through. Because I understand that it wasn't my fault, and it wasn't something that I've asked for to happen to me. Yeah, it wasn't something that I've prayed for. Yeah, if I can put it that way. It wasn't something that I have prayed for, or it wasn't something that I have asked my uncle to do it to me. So there's really no need to be ashamed if you had been sexually violated before. Remember, it wasn't your fault. And thinking about it, I think I have found my own healing by sharing what had happened to me. So I really think if I wasn't able to, if I never had the chance, or if I had never shared what I went through, like I wouldn't be here, guys, telling my story. Like seriously, I wouldn't be here telling my story because it was very hard for me. Even like to think about the fact that I have been sexually violated. I would cry. Like I would cry. Like tears would be rolling. Oh, I would cry. So talking about it, like me talking about it right now, uh it's very different. When I started talking, I would cry a lot. I would cry a lot. I wouldn't talk about this and not crying. So that is why I am saying that breaking the silence, actually, like breaking the silence is what heals. You can never be healed when you don't want to talk about it. I know sometimes it's very difficult to be like, hey, you know what happened? This had happened to me. It's very difficult because people are very judgmentally. Some would say like, no, you asked for it. No, you're wearing a short skirt. No, why? What were you doing in that tavern? People are like that. That is why I have said before that someone that has never went through sexual violation would never ever understand the pain that we are carrying every day. Would never ever understand. So I want to say that even me talking about it right now, not crying about it, it doesn't mean that I don't feel any pain. I do feel pain. So for me, it's like it's like a pain that I would carry forever. It's just that I managed to live with it. So there was this time I have decided to break the silence. I have really decided to break the silence, you know. And I told myself, no, I am breaking the silence. I don't care who is saying what. I really don't care about who is saying what to who, whatever. Let me just end here, and then I'll come with part two, what really had transpired after the podcast, and what happened when my parents find, like everyone will find out, like I I went to this big platform to talk about what really happened. So I'm just gonna come with part two to continue with yeah, it will end on part two. What happened after the podcast, what happened after I've shared my story like publicly. Because remember that my mom was like, don't tell anyone, we're not telling anyone here. So I will just share with you guys what really happened. So thank you so much for watching. Please do subscribe and share, like share if you know someone who had been sexually violated, please share this